This speech is titled The Boat. Have you ever seen a boat sail off and wish you could be on it? Have you ever been on a boat? Maybe you felt scared and nervous. Or maybe you've seen rough seas and calm seas and know what that looks like. With that in mind, picture this. You're setting sail on a boat. You're just a passenger and not the captain. This lack of control might make you feel slightly nervous or scared. Your mind might race with the possibilities of what if and what might happen. Although everybody's boat ride that we pictured might appear different or feel different, we can all agree that we wish for a smooth and steady ride. My life can easily be compared to a boat that I sometimes have no control over. Sometimes I find myself sitting on the shore and watching others sail away. And sometimes I have to sail through the rough seas to get to my calm seas. My journey in life has created the person I am today. Both my failures and successes have made my journey unique, and I appreciate all of them. And I wouldn't go back and change it, because it's made me who I am. During this presentation, I will explore the following points: how my journey is different from my friends, how my struggles affected me when I went through college, and my success after enduring my rough seas. The old saying that friends come and go is a really harsh reality to face, especially as a young high school student. Sometimes we have to watch our friends sail away and go on their own journey while we have to sit on the shore and watch. Growing up, ADHD affected me horribly. It was really tough. I struggled through every grade level, so this caused me stress and my parents stress. I often found schoolwork really hard to do. I was unfocused and unmotivated, and it ended up discouraging me from trying. My friends in high school were all accepted into major universities and had these big plans for their future. And because of my lack of focus, I wasn't accepted into my dream college. I wasn't surprised, but I was still devastated. I watched all of my friends move away, and I realized I needed to get my life together and figure out what my next step was going to be. The next few years were rough. I was accepted into University of North Carolina at Pembroke, and I was a college student at the age of 18, the worst age. I was struggling with not only ADHD, but immaturity and a newfound freedom that you find at a university. I attempted to study pre-med, but quickly realized I was very unhappy. This moves me to my second point. Although we wish for a smooth and steady ride, rough seas can hit us when we least expect it. After 1 year at University of North Carolina at Pembroke, I moved back home and I attempted to study nursing at Wake Tech. After doing that for about a year, I was still very unhappy. I often felt lost and discouraged because I questioned if this was even the right degree path for me. I often found myself comparing my academic successes to that of my peers that I graduated high school with. They had all obtained their associates, whereas I had nothing to show for myself still. I became very depressed, and I no longer knew what to do in terms of my academics. I felt like I was drowning at sea. I ended up speaking to an academic advisor at Wake Tech, and she asked me a question that will stick with me for the rest of my life. She asked me if there was one thing in life that you could do that would make you happy, what would it be? This was the first time somebody asked me that question, and it really resonated with me. I responded with interior design. This has led me to my final point. After a storm, there will be calm seas. But the saying, a smooth sea never makes a great sailor, can effectively apply to my story. I changed my major to interior design and quickly realized I was happy. My heart felt at home, especially when I spoke to my peers in this degree path and found out there were others who had the exact same story as me. I found myself completely devoted to my studies, and I was even excited to come home and tell my husband what I had learned that day, and that's all I wanted to talk about. I found success in knowing what I didn't want to study, which is a piece of information I'd like to pass along to anybody else in college. There is success in knowing what you don't want to study. I found that both my self-confidence and happiness were on the rise. I was absolutely enthralled when I contacted ECU and I found out I was a proper candidate to apply to the university. Since then, I have been accepted and I look forward to attending soon. My calm seas have finally arrived. Through all the rough seas and calm seas and journeys I've witnessed, I have learned to keep pushing forward and have perseverance. In closing, growing up as a completely unfocused child, struggling in college, to now a functioning adult with ADHD, I feel like my life has come full circle. I have learned how to control my disorder in order to be successful in my future. I've also learned that I'm in control, not the other way around. Although we are all on our own boat ride, rough seas can happen to anyone. It's best not to compare your own boat ride to others and to keep pushing forward and focus on where you want to go in life. There's not a race that we're all racing. Don't forget that rough seas can make you a stronger and better sailor in the future. In the wise words of Dory from Finding Nemo, just keep swimming.